Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on? Thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. In today's video, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency, and the topic of today's video is why you need to go sign up for these 4 cryptocurrency exchanges today. And I'm not talking about later. I'm talking like as soon as you finish watching this video, you need to go sign up for each one of these cryptocurrency exchanges. And whether you're already involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, or whether you're maybe sitting on the fence and you're like, I might want to get into this, I'm not quite ready to make the move. It costs you absolutely nothing to sign up for an account. And I'm going to tell you guys the reason you want to go sign up for an account is because Bittrex, one of the most popular altcoin exchanges, has already shut down new registrations. That's what you're looking at right now. And if we go to log in, and you're not a new user yet, right? So you're going to click sign up. And we get a message here. Dear new users, we have received an enormous number of new account registrations over the past few weeks. We're excited to have so many new users who want to join the Bittrex community. Unfortunately, we have to make a few upgrades to our support and backend systems to handle increased traffic load. As such, we have halted new user registrations for the time being. If you have an account on Bittrex, you will not be affected by this exchange. Please continue to log in. So even if you wanted to sign up for Bittrex right now, you would not be able to. Now, just to give you guys kind of an analogy or another example, about 2 years ago, I told everybody on this channel, go sign up for an Amazon merch account. Go, it's not really an invitation because you sign up and then you wait to be invited, but go sign up for your invitation. Whether you're ready to start designing t-shirts today or not, go sign up, because if you don't sign up, it's going to be, it's going to become flooded. Well, what happened? Here we are, 2 years later. There's been such a surge of so many people wanting to be part of the Amazon merch program that, go look at some of my Amazon merch videos. Every video I do about Amazon merch, there's people, I've been waiting 6 months to get on. I've been waiting 8 months to get on. I've been waiting a year. I've been waiting 14 months to get on. And 2 years ago, had you just signed up, even if you're not ready to get started, you already have that account. So when you are ready to get started, you're not put on that waiting list. And I have a feeling that's what's going to wind up happening with these cryptocurrency exchanges. So the same way it costs you nothing to sign up for an account for Amazon merch, it costs you nothing to sign up for a cryptocurrency or an altcoin exchange. You don't have to put money into it, but at least you can sign up, get your account registered, and that way if you do want to do something, you're ready to get going. So just another example of something I did the other day. Overstock has this like T0 exchange altcoin. I'm still kind of confused by what it is. I'm in the process of researching it. But I knew it was going to be big, right? Because Overstock was one of the first major companies accepting Bitcoin and involved in Bitcoin. Right now, I believe they're taking over 45 different altcoins. So when I heard about this, I went and signed up right away. Held up my little passport next to my face and got my picture and got everything registered because I knew it was going to become overloaded. And I think they may have stopped accepting new registrations as well. You guys have probably heard or seen the complaints about everybody waiting to get verified to get onto Coinbase. So even though it feels like you're hearing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies everywhere, you haven't even begun to see the flood of people rushing into this. Before I'm going to ramble for a little bit more, I will link to all these cryptocurrency exchanges in the description box below. Some of them do have affiliate programs. Some of them will be my affiliate links. If you want to support me, want to support the channel, please sign up using my link. If you don't want to support me or the channel, you can just type in Binance.com instead of like clicking my link to Binance. But I'll put those links down there. But getting back to talking about these exchanges, here's the exchanges that I would recommend everybody get signed up for. So I'm a little bit pissed off at Coinbase about how they handled the whole Bcash thing. But nonetheless, there's essentially 2 major exchanges where you can actually spend fiat dollars, where you can do an ACH transfer, use your credit card or a bank wire to buy Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, which can then be your entrance into the altcoin market. So the 2 major ones are going to be Coinbase and Gemini. I'm a little bit upset with Coinbase, but nonetheless, I think it is good to have backups all the time. So I already have a Coinbase account. We'll kind of say by default, you want to have a GDAX account as well. GDAX and Coinbase are the same company. If you have an account with one, you have an account with the other. I think if you already have a Coinbase account, if you're logged in and you click login on GDAX, it's automatically going to take you in. You may have to upload your driver's license, but essentially the same login is going to work for both accounts. The reason you want to use GDAX over Coinbase is you can make transfers off of GDAX for free. whereas Coinbase is going to charge you. And also on Coinbase, when you buy, they're going to charge you 1.25%. And I believe when you sell as well, on GDEX, they use a maker-taker model. So as long as you're placing limit orders, you won't pay any fees. So Coinbase and GDEX are kind of one and the same. Gemini is owned by the Winklevoss twins, the Winklevoss brothers. They only deal in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Bitcoin and or Ethereum can be your entrance into the altcoin markets. Now, if you don't want to hold Bitcoin and your goal is simply to start buying these altcoins like Iota or Electroneum or whatever else, I would suggest maybe buying Litecoin or Ethereum. And the reason I say that is because when you go to send it from Gemini or Coinbase over to an altcoin exchange, like the ones we'll discuss in just a moment here, there's going to be really high fees and really slow transfer times for Bitcoin. So if you don't want to get into Bitcoin and your whole goal is just to get into altcoins, you might as well buy Ethereum or Litecoin to do that. So the two major exchanges to get into fiat or to go from Bitcoin back to dollars are going to be Coinbase, GDEX, and Gemini. I'll link to those below. Now we're going to be talking about the actual altcoin exchanges, right? So the one I got started with and my favorite one is going to be Bittrex. They don't necessarily have the most coins. They don't necessarily get the coins the soonest. But, you know, in the past, like Bittrex, Poloniex, and Kraken were kind of the three major altcoin exchanges. I saw the least amount of complaints about Bittrex. As they've grown, there have been more complaints. So, you know, I'll tell you guys about that. Me personally, I've had no issues with Bittrex. I know Supoman and some other people have been saying that they are not, you know, they've been having some downtime, some glitches on there, etc. So I know a lot of people have moved over to Binance, and we'll talk about that in a minute here. I really like Bittrex. They have most of the coins that I deal with. I mean, you know, let's see, like if... you know, I mean, Lisk, ARK, Bitcoin Cash, NXT, Redcoin. I don't know if you guys remember, I've been telling you guys about Redcoin for quite a while. Ethereum, Cardano, Stratus, Lumen, Dogecoin, Komodo, Neo, Qtum, New Economy Movement, XEM, NEM, Monero. So they have a lot of coins here. Now, Bittrex is located in the USA, so a lot of people like that it's a US company. However, at the same time, Bittrex used to be kind of like the Wild West. As they've grown in popularity, they're kind of trying to get the regulatory stuff in order. I've heard they've been hiring a lot of former government employees, some people from Homeland Security. They're really going to start making a push towards, like, you know, being kind of like anti-money laundering compliant, KYC policies, making you upload IDs, being really strict on that type of stuff. So it is good, and it's a US exchange. I think people are a little bit more comfortable, like, oh, maybe they're less likely to run off with our money, or if they do run off with our money, we have more recourse to kind of go after them. But Bittrex right now has shut down new registrations. So if you're not already signed up, Bittrex isn't even going to be an option for you, but you can keep an eye on it. I think they're on social media if you want to follow them and see when they open registrations back up. But Bittrex is kind of what I got started using, and it was kind of my main one. More recently, however, I've started moving over to Binance. Now, I'll also drop a link to Binance in the description box below. That is my affiliate link. The reason I moved over to Binance is because they have higher withdrawal limits. Now, Bittrex, I forget how much, like Coinbase will let me take out, I want to say 15 grand a day. Now, I could get those limits raised, but I rarely take out money, so I haven't felt the need to do that. But it's probably not a bad idea to continue trying to get your limits raised so that if you do make a bunch of money, or if down the road you do want to take out a bunch of money, you're already set up to do that, and you're not with a flood of other people trying to get into that as well. But the reason I went over to Binance, they'll allow you to withdraw 2 Bitcoins per day. So right now, with Bitcoin sitting around 15 grand, that's about $30,000. Like, that's a pretty good amount of money to be able to move without ever verifying anything. You know, when Bitcoin was sitting at $20,000, that was like 40 grand per day that they would let you move. The main reason I went over here, I wanted to buy REQ, which is a request network. I wanted to buy Iota, and I wanted to buy Ethos. Now, none of those coins are carried on Bittrex, so to buy those, I had to come over to Binance. Binance actually has their own coin, and if you trade in Binance coin pairs, you actually get a 15% discount off of trading fees. Also, Binance, unlike Bittrex, has stop limit orders, which when you know, this is kind of getting really basic, but when you place orders, you have market orders, which is you don't get to pick a price, right? You're just going to sell it wherever the market is right now. You have limit orders, which I'm going to talk in terms of dollars just because Bitcoin's kind of confused people, but we'll say ARK is trading at $10. You don't want to buy ARK at $10. You want to buy it at $8, but you don't want to have to sit in front of the computer waiting for it to hit $8. So you'll set a limit order and say, I want to buy 100, ARK coins when it gets to $8. Now, if you have that order in place, if ARK drops to $8, your order is automatically going to execute. Even if you're sleeping, even if you're at the gym, even if you're in a bathroom taking a poop, wherever you are, that order is going to execute. And then they have stop limit orders, which means I recommend not really using stop limit orders in cryptocurrency. And the reason is because it's so up and so down. Look at any cryptocurrency chart. And what a stop limit order is let's say you buy into Bitcoin at 20,000 and you say, look, if Bitcoin drops below 19,000, I want to sell it and take my, what is that, a 5% loss? I want to sell it and take that 5% loss instead of letting it drop even lower down to like $5,000. So what you do is set a stop limit order, and you would say, I want it to sell at 19,000 if it drops that low. The reason I recommend not doing it is because Bitcoin and cryptos are so wild that it could go from 20 to 18 and then back to 22, and your order kicked in and you sold at a loss when, if you had waited 10 minutes longer, you would have been, up 10% or something like that. But the danger of doing, stop loss orders? My buddy executed a trade on, I think it was GDAX, and I forget what he had it set up, but just for example, Bitcoin, Bitcoin was at 20 grand. He set his for 19. This is just an example. Bitcoin wasn't at 20 grand, but, Bitcoin drops to 19, his order sells, and then Bitcoin continues falling. And if his trade can't all execute at 19, it's going to execute all the way down. So he sold some at 19, some at 18.5, some at 18. What a stop limit order allows you to do is say, if it hits 19, I want it to sell, but I don't want it to keep selling if it goes below, 18.5 or something like that. So if you're a beginning trader, you're probably not going to get into all this stuff. And you probably, for most people, don't really want to mess with stop limit orders anyways. But Binance's trading is a little bit more advanced. Like I said, I really like Binance because they do have Ethos. They do have Iota. They have a lot of coins that Bittrex doesn't. Another advantage of Binance, they're out of Hong Kong, so they're not as tied in with U.S. regulation. They're not going to be as strict. I know some people don't like to verify or register for privacy reasons or because it's a headache in a lot of these registration softwares. I helped my dad register a couple weeks back, and we're sitting there with his face and his ID in front of the computer, and the clock's ticking down from 8 minutes, and my dad's sitting here for 8 minutes, and it still doesn't go, and then we try it again, and it doesn't work again, and then all of a sudden we log in a day later, and it registered even though it told us there was an error. So it can be a pain in the butt. Some people want to dodge taxes. Some people just want their privacy. Whatever your reason is for not wanting all this enhanced verification and stuff, Binance is going to require less of that. And also, here's another kind of reason that you might want to trade on Binance. So I had a situation the other day where I was holding a coin called SafeX. Now, this coin SafeX was going through the roof. I was making money. What wound up happening was Bittrex delisted the coin. I believe SafeX said they were going to start paying a dividend. As soon as a coin pays a dividend, the SEC oftentimes considers that a security. Now, to sell a security, you have to be registered with the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, I believe it stands for. And because Bittrex is a U.S. company, hey, we don't want to get in trouble for selling securities. We're just going to delist this coin. Well, there were only 2 exchanges, and this is another reason why you should sign up for multiple exchanges. A lot of times, Binance might carry one coin, but Bittrex doesn't. Bittrex might carry one coin, but Cryptopia doesn't. So by being signed up on a couple exchanges, you're going to give yourself access to almost every cryptocurrency out there. There are a few funky ones that only trade on one exchange. Electroneum is an example of that. I've been wanting to get Electroneum for a while, and Cryptopia is the only one that has it. So it is kind of a pain in the butt having to spread yourself out and monitor and keep logins for 3 or 4 different exchanges. But if you want access to the most amount of coins, you'll want to do this. And also, if you have trouble with any accounts, you want to have accounts on multiple platforms. You can trade on multiple platforms. But yeah, Binance, I think, is more likely to trade some of the coins that are maybe in a gray area of being called securities, because the U.S. is a lot stricter on that than other places. So Bittrex and a lot of other exchanges don't deal with Iota and a bunch of other coins. On Binance, you can get those. So that's one of the benefits of Binance. Again, higher withdrawal limits as well, and less verification. And then lastly, Cryptopia. Cryptopia hasn't necessarily been one of my favorite exchanges. The layout's a little funky to me, although I think you kind of get used to something. I've gotten used to Bittrex. So every other exchange is a little bit foreign to me. My business partner really likes Binance, so that's kind of what he's accustomed to. Cryptopia is probably my least favorite of all these exchanges that I've mentioned. However, the thing that I do like about Cryptopia is they have Electroneum. That's a coin that I was wanting to get into for a while, and only Cryptopia carries it. So one last thing actually I got a couple more things I wanted to show you real quickly. Coinbase, coinmarketcap.com. So let's say you have your favorite YouTuber. Hopefully it's me, but if it's not, maybe you're a huge fan of Superman, or who's the other guy, like Crypto Bobby or one of these guys, and you hear Superman tell everybody to go buy, we'll say Electroneum, and you're like, well, I'm on Bittrex. Bittrex doesn't have Electroneum. Where do I get Electroneum? If you go over to the site CoinMarketCap, we can type in Electroneum. We click it. We can see the charts and everything. We can see its rank. Its rank in terms of volume. It'll tell us if it's a mineable coin, which is like a proof of work coin, or if it's a POS or a proof of stake coin, where you actually earn by staking, where the system works by staking. But we got the chart. But what you can do here, you can go over to this tab called Markets, and this will tell us what exchanges as well as what currency pairs Electroneum trades on. So as you can see here, Electroneum only trades on Cryptopia. So if you want to buy it, this is the only exchange you can buy it on. Alternatively, let's say I'm a big fan of Navcoin. So if we go over here to Nav, if you guys remember, I've been pretty good with my picks, guys. I told you guys Lisk was going to triple by the end of the year. I called it at $4.40. I think it's at, $25 now. I told you guys a long time ago to buy Redcoin. Redcoin is through the roof. I was telling everybody to buy Nav at 50 cents, so I'm not always right, but I have a pretty good track record here. But anyhow, Navcoin, it's a little bit slow to rocket, but I'm into this at under 50 cents. One of my favorite coins, really. 92 on CoinMarketCap, slowly climbing its way up the ranks. They're going to have the NavTech Polymorph coming out soon, so that should be exciting. They're also going to have their NAV2, or NavPI number 2, the staking computer that comes out. But if we go to markets, we can see here Navcoin trades on Bittrex, Poloniex, Cryptopia, Lightbyte, Nova Exchange. Let's try to look up another one. Let's see, what's another one we could look up? We'll look up like Lisk. I think, just totally off topic, but I think ARK is really undervalued right now, so that's one that I'm kind of eyeing. As you can see there, Lisk, $23. You can kind of see that rocket ship up there. But if we go to markets, Lisk trades on Bittrex, Poloniex, Binance, BitZ, BitBay, YoBit, HitBTC, Livecoin, Poloniex, CoinEgg. As you can see here, it trades on 30 different exchanges. So if you ever hear about a coin and you want to learn more about it, CoinMarketCap's a great site. Again, it'll tell you the type of coin it is, the rank. You can look at the source code. You can see the markets it trades on. If you want to, a lot of people want to follow the developers of a coin that they're interested in, so you can kind of see what's going on recently in Reddit and on Twitter and things like that. So that's an interesting thing. There's one last exchange that I'm going to mention to you guys, and this one is called HitBTC. Now, HitBTC, if I had to rank these exchanges in order of how much I like them, Bitcoin/GDAX and Gemini are kind of a different kind of exchange than a Bittrex, a Poloniex, a Kraken, a Binance. So we won't count those. But I would say kind of in order of my favorite ones, I would probably say Bittrex. Bittrex and Binance tied for first. I'm still getting used to Binance. Bittrex and Binance, probably then Cryptopia, and then HitBTC. Now, HitBTC isn't a bad exchange. It's just not my favorite exchange. The one reason I wanted to mention HitBTC is you guys know about Bitcoin, not only Bitcoin, but we'll say cryptocurrency forks in general, but specifically Bitcoin forks. So August 1st, we had the Bitcoin Cash fork. Was it October 24th? We had the Bitcoin Gold fork. We have the Segwit2X fork happening on December 18th. So whenever a fork's happening, right, we normally hear about it a few weeks in advance, and there's futures markets for forks. So what that means is back in July, even though the Bitcoin Cash fork wasn't going to happen until August 1st, on HitBTC and YoBit tend to be the ones that allow you to sell futures. Bittrex and most of the other ones don't. But back around this time, if a couple weeks in advance you said, you know what, I don't think Bitcoin Cash is going to get that much support, I think either the fork's not even going to happen, or it's going to be a complete failure, or the price is going to be really low. So I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to sell my futures in advance. Bitcoin Cash wound up sticking around. Bcash, Bittrex. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it does have some support. It did stick around. Now, if you remember back to, I forget the date of Segwit2X. If somebody wants to drop it in the comment section below, you can. But Segwit2X was going to fork. If you guys remember, it wound up being called off. So HitBTC was selling futures. At one point, the futures had gotten up to $1,600, meaning if you put your Bitcoins in HitBTC and kind of let them hold it as collateral, you have the ability to sell your futures. So somebody else thinks that Segwit2X is going to happen and the coin's going to be really valuable. So they say, I'll pay you $1,600 today for these coins that you don't have in your possession, but that you will have in your possession a couple weeks from now. So they're optimistic about Segwit2X. I'm pessimistic, so I sell mine. Well, if you guys remember what wound up happening, Segwit2X got called off. So that meant that if I sold my futures, I got $1,600 completely free money for every Bitcoin I held. The people who bought the Segwit2X futures wound up losing their money and not even getting anything. So we do have Segwit2X fork happening December 28th. I was really confused by this. Box Mining has a good video on the subject. Basically, this is not put forward by the core developers. I was kind of wondering, like, you know, Bitcoin's really slow. The transaction times are really slow. It's really expensive. I wonder if, like, the core developers are finally trying to do something about this. This is somebody else who's doing it, some other team of developers, and I think they have their own ICO, so a lot of people are questioning, like, what their motives are and other things. But long story short, regardless, Segwit2X futures. This one, the price isn't as high as the previous ones. I don't know if people aren't counting on support for it or whatever, but last I checked, okay, so it's actually gone down. I had checked a day or two ago and the futures were selling for 600 and some change. So you can see it's progressively gone down. Quick side note here, during the last fork, the morning that I finally kind of got up the cojones to sell my futures, because it is a risk, right? You're rolling the dice. The morning that I finally kind of got up the balls to do it, I was literally just about to make my transfer over to HitBTC to sell my futures. And all of a sudden I see that it's no longer at 15 or 1600, it's at like 2 or 300. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? Right then I get a text message from my girlfriend's cousin, and he's like, dude, Segwit2X called off, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden I start getting some other messages from some friends and things like that. So had I acted about, I don't know, 15 minutes sooner, I would have been able to collect all this free money essentially for nothing. I guess I never followed up and saw whether they got paid out. I'm pretty sure they did since it was called off. But I was just about to pull the trigger on that, and I waited too long. The developers wound up calling it off, and you know, I didn't get a chance to do it. But anyhow, the futures are trading right now. It looks like it's getting lower and lower and lower. It's had a little bit of a spike, but if you don't think this Segwit2X is going to go anywhere, if you don't think it's going to happen, or if you think after it's released everybody's going to sell it off and the value is going to decline, you may be better off selling your futures right now, or you know, maybe waiting for the price to spike a little bit and selling them. The most conservative thing to do would be to just sit back. But anyhow, I'm kind of getting sidetracked here. We can talk about that in another video. The whole point of me mentioning this was, if we click the markets button there, you can see there's only 2 exchanges where you can sell your futures. One is Iota and the other is HitBTC. HitBTC really isn't a bad exchange. They're a legitimate exchange or a decent exchange. Iota is kind of a crap exchange in my opinion. I signed up for it, and I did make a video a while back telling you guys to sign up for it, not to put money in, but just because every day you can claim free coins on Iota. So I go on there. I used to go on there every day. I've kind of fallen off of doing it, but you know, if you're just getting started in crypto, if you just want to get your feet wet, if you don't have any money to put in, but you kind of want to get involved, you can go collect free coins on Iota. They also have like kind of a gambling thing where you can bet on the roll of a dice and kind of bet your free coins as well. But anyhow, Iota lately has been really glitchy for me. I don't really trust them as much as HitBTC. But if you did want to sell your futures, HitBTC would be the one to do it. So I've rambled on for long enough. Just to kind of recap, if you're wanting to go from fiat or US dollars into crypto, or if you're wanting to go from crypto or Bitcoin back into US dollars, Coinbase/GDAX, which are the same company, is a way to go. Gemini is also an option. I just signed up for an account with Gemini because I'm kind of pissed off at Coinbase and because I want 2 options. So those are kind of the fiat to crypto exchanges. Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum are traded on Coinbase GDEX. Ethereum and Bitcoin are traded on Gemini. Bittrex is my favorite altcoin exchange. Unfortunately, if you're not already signed up, they have closed down your user registration. Stay tuned to see if they open that back up, but that's not an option for you right now. So I think the next best option is going to be Binance. Again, linked to below. Cool thing about Binance, they have a lot of coins. They're also going to deal with some kind of gray area coins that might be securities. You can buy Iota on here. You can buy Ethos and a whole bunch of other coins. Less regulation, less registration, and higher limits in terms of what you can send off. We have Cryptopia, another good exchange. They have some coins that Binance and Bittrex don't. It seems like all the hype right now is about Electroneum. So if you want Electroneum, this is where you'll need to go to get it. I will link in the description box below, and I don't recall if they have an affiliate program or not, but if they do, I'm going to use my affiliate link. So if you want to support me in the channel, great, do it. If not, you can just go to cryptopia.co.nz, and then I don't get anything, but you're more than welcome to do that as well. And then lastly, most of you guys probably aren't going to need to use this one, but if you are wanting to sell your Segwit2X futures or any other futures that come down the road, you can do it here. Oh, you know, one other thing I was curious about. So we have Super Bitcoin and Bitcoin Diamond. Super Bitcoin. Let's see where these are trading at. A lot of times the more obscure exchanges like HitBTC will have these before others. So Super Bitcoin is trading on Huboy, HitBTC, Yobit. So again, you see this one's kind of trading on the more obscure exchanges. But this is why you may want to get a HitBTC account. If, you know, I don't even know if we're able to access our Super Bitcoin or Bitcoin Diamond yet, but for whatever reason, if you are, this is like one of the few places you can exchange it. And then if we look up Bitcoin Diamond... Okay, so Bitcoin Diamond Futures. If you wanted to sell your Bitcoin Diamond Futures, if you think this coin is going to go nowhere, so apparently this one definitely isn't out because they're selling futures. But if you think this is garbage, you can sell it for $57.44. So for every Bitcoin you have, you'll be able to get 54 bucks. At one point, it looks like at its high, it was around, what's that, 96, 100, something like that. But if you wanted to sell your Bitcoin Diamond Futures, you could do that at, let's see what markets it's trading on. Actually, okay, Binance has that. I didn't realize Binance had it. Yobit. I'm surprised HitBTC is not on there, but yeah, as you can see, Yobit and HitBTC tend to be the places where you can sell futures and kind of more obscure coins. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. I realize I've been kind of rambling. I've had kind of a crazy day today. Just got back from the gym. Haven't eaten yet, so but just wanted to get this video out there. Like I said, from the very beginning, I recommended Amazon merch a long time ago. The people who didn't sign up are now waiting a year plus to get on. If you're on the fence with crypto, if you're involved in crypto but you only have like 1 or 2 exchanges, go sign up for a couple different exchanges. That way, if one of the exchanges you're not part of becomes the next big one or gets a coin that you want to get, you're not in a huge queue of people waiting to get on. You already have an account set up. Just signing up for these is not making any commitment. You don't have to put money in, but you're at least ready to go should you want to. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Like I've been saying lately, I'm trying to get a silver play button up there, so I need about another 28,000 subscribers, so help me out with that. And then if you guys have any comments about like what your favorite exchange is, what coins you're recommending, what your favorite coins are, I love hearing from you guys. Drop it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.